Okay, and welcome to our Properties of Logarithms Low station. Now in this, we're just going to look at the major distinction between adding logarithms and subtracting logarithms. So notice in our very first example, our logarithms are being added. So what does this tell us? Well, since they both have a base of logarithm 3, we can actually write log 3 parentheses. And remember, our rule is when you're adding logarithms, you can actually multiply what's inside. So notice our very first thing was a 3x, and our second thing here was a 2, so we can write 3x times 2 parentheses is equal to 4. Now from here, notice we're going to do two things. One, we want to get rid of this log base 3, and think back to our simple logarithm station or simple logarithm notes. In order to get rid of a log base 3, we will base 3 both sides. So that goes away. And we also want to ask ourselves, well, hey, while we're at it, what is 3x times 2? Well, 3x times 2, we multiply our two numbers, and we'll get 6x equals 3 to the power of 4, which if you type that into your calculator will give you 81. Now from here, we want to divide both of these sides by 6, divide by 6, and we'll get this. X is equal to, and I'll just write the fraction answer. Both of these numbers can be divided by 3, which will give us 27 over, 27 over 2. Okay? Well, if you did that as a decimal, it would obviously be 13.5. I'll even write that out for you, 13.5. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our second example. Alright, now in this one, notice they're not being added, they're being subtracted. So when we're adding, we multiply the two things. When we subtract, we know we're going to have to divide. So what's that going to look like? Well, we can write this. Log base 4 of, and our very first thing here, the logarithm of 8x, will be divided by the second thing we're taking the logarithm of, which will be 2 parentheses is equal to 3. Now from here, once again, let's kind of do our two steps simultaneously. One, in order to get rid of a base of 4, we will base 4 both sides. And here we also see we have 8x divided by 2. Well, what is 8x divided by 2? That will actually give us 4x is equal to, and while we're at it, let's simplify this 4 to the power of 3, which will actually give us 64. Now in order to get x by itself, we'll divide both sides by 4, and this will of course give us x equals 16. Alright, I hope these two examples help, and I'll see you at our next station.